So for this video, we're going to go over the routing aspect of the system. So this is another thing that eliminates a lot of paper, just because I know there's a lot of sweeping companies, myself included, that were using paper route sheets, and just the cost of printer ink and paper and a driver spilling something on the piece of paper and whatnot. It's just a headache, and it's a whole lot more efficient to do it all online. So we've got the routes button here. Once we click it, we can see all of the routes for an individual night or any of the past ones. So you can see that we've got the name of the route, who the driver is that's or sweeping on this route, what vehicle he's in, and then what percentage of the way he's through his route. So and then you can also see that it's marked in progress in yellow or complete for a past night. So we'll click on one to show you what a driver would see. Obviously, this has got some financial stuff that the driver, they will not be able to see that unless you dictate it to them. But short of that, they'll be able to log on, see the name of the route, what truck they're in. It's got a cool little map here that kind of gives them an idea of what part of town or what area of the state they're going to be in. And then the name of the route, the address, what exactly gets done, so they can see that at this Kroger, for instance, we don't have to change the bags. We're only sweeping the front and not the back. And then they can see how long of a drive it is for the next stop, so on and so forth. And then any notes that you left that you want them to see will pop up there as well. So, and then in addition, they can hit this view stop detail here. They'll see how long you have budgeted for them to be on site. If you had a customer complain and you want your driver to get the signature of the manager, whoever it might be, they can do that on the signature pad and hit use as customer signature. And that signature gets saved there. And then if you watch the other video, you can see the public URL and being able to send that to customers. So it's the same thing with signatures. So if you hit the public URL, that signature will get captured and you can verify whatever you needed to verify with the manager. So, and then if your driver is on a route or at a property and notices something outside the scope of sweeping, he or she is able to upload the picture of the problem that they found. So this is a way to kind of empower your drivers to earn extra revenue. So instead of waiting for a light to be out, waiting for someone to find that until either you get there or a manager gets there, you can give your drivers the tools to take that picture themselves, leave a description, and you can pass that along directly to the customer. So that's a quick snapshot of the routing. I'll show you how to we make one. So you got the new route button here. It's pretty easy to use. You can name the route, whatever you want, select who is the driver for that route, what truck he's going to be in, and then the start at and end at time. And then from there, you really just go through and start adding properties from the drop down. So for this one, and you can dictate what gets done. You can say how long it'll be. You've got budgeted for them to be on site. You can say the bags need to get changed and the back needs to get swept, and that's it. So on and so forth. And all of that will be transferred over to what the driver actually sees. So once you go through that whole process, the driver can log in and see it easily. Or if you have a route that usually stays the same, there's not really a whole lot of changes that you have to make to it or anything like that, you can select it from a template that's pre-made that you've made earlier, and all of that stuff for that template will auto-populate, so you don't have to make the same route manually every single night. So you're already saving time just being able to literally click one button, have everything populate, and you create it from there. So and then if for whatever reason you can toggle it on and off to make these go down a little bit, give you a little bit more room to see how many stops. We've got the numbered list here, and then if you need to change the order, you can just drag and drop. It'll adjust how long the drive time is, and you can just adjust the list or adjust the route from there. So you saw what gets done, or how you decide what gets done, the bags front and back. I'll show you again what the driver sees once you've already created a route. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it's all sweeping specific as well. So as you can see, whatever you check or don't check gets shown up there. all of this stuff looks like just the back is, or the front is getting done. Here's one example. We've got a bags, change the bags, sweep the front, sweep the back. And then also on top of that, if your drivers have any questions about what gets done, or how to get someplace, they can hit directions. It'll pop up Google Maps. And the other video, in the properties video, I showed you that you can upload the property outline, which will also go to the route. So if your driver's not sure what gets done, they can hit that view property, and whatever property outlines you've uploaded get transferred over here. So they can see exactly what gets done, exactly what trash cans need to get emptied, where the property boundaries are, so on and so forth. So that eliminates in itself the, I didn't know we were supposed to do that part, because they have it right in front. They have it clicking a button. They can pull all that stuff up. So when they get to a property, they check in, or they begin the stop. They have to be within 1 mile of the property for it to start the clock. And then when they get done, they can just hit checkout. So here's an example. When it's done, the system logs how long it took or how long they were on site. So for this one at Kroger E-Town, it took him 27 minutes. He was there from 11:10 to 11:38. So it's got the time and the dates. And like I said, they have to be within 1 mile of the property to check in or out. So, and then in the other video, if you've watched it on the properties page, it had the average time on site. So that's where that information comes from. So for this night, this Kroger E-Town took 27 minutes. It'll keep track of how long it took for the next night, so on and so forth. And that's how it gets those averages. So it's a pretty, I like to think, elegant, simple way to have routes. There's no more paper, no more printing sheets out, no more hoping that the driver keeps track of everything. And then on top of that, there's no filling out forms on the routes. There's no filling out, there's no relying on the driver to manually fill out what the times he was on site, so on and so forth. So that is the routing.